one of the easiest ways to get more sales on your TikTok shop products is to run ads to the previous people like this that have already interacted positively with your products, because they're the low-hanging fruit, and targeting them can be extremely profitable. These people have already demonstrated a strong interest in buying your product by their willingness to stop their scrolling, watch your video, and click on the actual product link, but for whatever reason, they haven't pulled the trigger yet. And by running ads retargeting these buyers, we can get more sales, put more money into our pocket, and it won't even cost us very much since we already know this is a warm audience. We're not running ads to people who don't know what our product is, which would cost a lot more per conversion. We are solely running ads to people that already know what it is and have already demonstrated a strong interest in potentially purchasing it. In any business, retargeting on the fence buyers like this is the cheapest and most profitable way to spend ad dollars, and it is no different when running a TikTok shop. So the first thing you'll need to do is set up an ad account if you haven't already, right? And you can do this very easily by signing up for it at business.tiktok.com and then linking your TikTok shop. Or you can just go directly to the link in the description. Then once your ad account is set up, you want to build a retargeting audience to start collecting data. That way, when you actually get people who click on your product in your videos but don't purchase it, we can then run targeted ads swaying them from the fence into actual paying customers. So to create your retargeting audience, you're going to go to Tools and then Audience Manager, and then we're going to create a new custom audience. And then from here, we're going to pick Shop Activity. And now you'll see that you can set the parameters for your retargeting audience and how warm you essentially want them to be within what time frame. Now, I'm going to pick Product Detail Page View here and choose 14 days in the past. But keep in mind that if you're getting a ton of organic views, then you can afford to go more narrow and maybe even add to cart or initiate checkout. As you can see here, you obviously don't want to pick completed payment here. And you could even go 7 days, not 14 days, because those are going to be the easiest people to convert because they've demonstrated the most interest without buying in the most recent time frame. So if I wanted to go super narrow, I'd go 7 days and initiated checkout, right? But let's say you're not crushing organic views and maybe you're still doing pretty well. You might want to go a little bit more broad so your audience is a little bit bigger to pull from, which is what I tend to do. So I'll just go to Product Details, Page View, and 14 days. Then you're going to pick your shop, because these people have clearly shown interest in the product by clicking on it from a video, and they're still going to remember it and probably still be in the market for it since it's only been a week or two. And now after you choose that, you're also going to want to exclude people that have completed the payment. Now, I personally pick completed the payment in the last 180 days here, because almost every product that I sell is not reoccurring or a subscription, and generally speaking, customers won't purchase them again and again. They've already purchased them, so they're not going to purchase them again within the next 6-month time frame. And in my opinion, there's no sense in wasting ad dollars on them. But for those of you out there that might be selling something like that, where maybe you're selling a recurring subscription or something that buyers might purchase over and over again, then you might want to actually go a little bit less here, so keep that in mind. Then you set your audience name. You're going to want to put something that you remember here, so I'm just going to say people that have viewed products, and then whatever your product is. So I'm going to say people that have viewed product X but have not purchased. That way I know what it is when I go to run retargeting ads, and it's super easy for me to pick, right? If you're only creating 1 or 2 audiences, won't be that big of a deal. But as you start to scale your ad account and you have multiple different audiences, you're going to want the audiences to be as detailed as possible so you know exactly what they are when you go and choose them from the actual ad that you run. Now, you also want to make sure that auto refresh is on and I keep reach and frequency off. If you keep auto refresh on, then this is actually crucial, right? Because then people will continue to be added in real time. So for instance, if you're running ads today or soon, then all future people that fit these parameters that we set will then also get retargeted right away, which is where the real money is, and our ad continuously gets populated with new potential buyers. So always have auto refresh on. If not, it'll just take a snapshot of your audience in that moment and it won't continuously add people. And then you're going to click confirm it. Now, for your ad video, before we actually go ahead and create the ad, right? You have a massive advantage now because these people already know what what your product is. So you don't need to describe what it is again to them. They've already been introduced to it. So you can clean up sales relatively easy by creating a video that already assumes the viewer is already familiar with your product, and maybe even show it being used in a different way than your organic videos, or even answer some of the most frequently asked questions that you get on videos and then run that as an ad. That can tend to work well too. So for instance, let's say that your organic videos always get a, well, how well will this fit in an actual trunk question, trunk of your car? Well, then a good ad would again be briefly to show the product in action and then cover it with something like, and for those of you that are worried that it wouldn't fit in your trunk, it actually folds pretty easily by clicking this button, and then bam, fits snugly into your trunk, right? And then show that being the case. Whatever the case is, use frequently asked questions or typical problems that you see other customers have with it. Turn that into an ad, because I bet you they're not the only one. Now, I could create an entire video just on different ad angles, but you get the picture. Often the best ones come from questions or customer feedback that you're already getting on your organic videos. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. So now let's go ahead and create the actual retargeting ads campaign, since we've already created our audience. So for this, you want to go to campaign this time, and then you're going to click on campaign, create campaign, go advanced, gives you more options. Click product sales, because that's our objective. Then make sure that you click TikTok shop, and then you want to name your campaign. So I'm going to say retargeting ad for product X. Again, whatever your product is, so you know. Always be super descriptive when you're dealing with audiences. It helps later, trust me. Now, you can set your campaign budget here. I typically set them on the ads level, but you can do it here as well. We'll get more into that at the ads level. Then the ad group name, you can name this as the same exact thing, just so when you start to get into the actual campaigns and ad groups and ads in your ad dashboard, it's a lot easier to understand where each is if you're organized, right? So I would just say retargeting ad for product X, ad group 1. Since this is a retargeting campaign, we're only going to have one ad group anyway, but you should just get into the habit of being as specific as possible, again, so that you're not playing tic-tac-toe with all the names of your campaigns and all your ads later. It's really easy and understandable. Then for shop ads type, you're going to want to pick video shopping ads, and here's where you're actually going to pick your shop. Now, this is a demo account, so I don't have an actual shop linked. I'm just showing you, but you should have already set that up when you signed up for your ads account manager and then linked your shop. Now, on placements, we're going to leave this as TikTok, obviously, and then here in audience targeting, we're going to include the audience that we just created, right? So you include an audience, go to custom, and then your audience should be right here, right? Now, since we just created this audience, and in most cases, you're going to have just created your retargeting audience as well, you might need to wait a few hours for it to process and get all the actual people and data into the audience first. So give it a few hours and then come back and restart your ad campaign. Assuming that a few hours has passed and it's already populated, then it will show up right here. But again, if it hasn't, give it a little bit of time. Now, in demographics with your location, you're obviously just going to pick the location and country that you're selling in. So I'm going to pick US here. And of course, if you know your specific target buyer profile when you're scrolling down through demographics, your gender, your age, your language, then you can narrow it down more here. Although since in this case, it's a retargeting audience that we pretty much know everybody's interested, otherwise they wouldn't have fit the parameters already, then I would just recommend leaving it all genders and leaving it everything 18 plus, because all these potential people are interested. You don't want to leave anybody out. Now, as we scroll down through daily budget, this is really what you're comfortable spending. Now, the minimum here is $10 a day, as you can see here, but I'll typically put 50 here myself because I want to see how it performs and I want to get a bunch of data and feedback back fast so I can make a more informed decision with a lot more speed. And then you could start it right away and run it continuously. You don't need to schedule it because you should be keeping an eye on this manually anyway, and then you can turn it off when the time comes or if it's not performing how you'd like it to. Now, for optimization goal here, I personally choose purchases. You can go gross revenue if you'd like, but in my opinion, overall purchases is the main objective, and so you want to tell TikTok that and make it clear. And then when you click continue here, you'll be able to upload your ad video that we talked about previously and link to the specific product that you're running ads to, just like you could when you're uploading an organic video as well. Now, as you start running your retargeting ad, remember, keep an eye on it manually, make sure that it's performing and obviously giving you a positive ROI, but don't overreact like the first day or two. I would let it run for a few days, let it optimize a little bit, and then make an informed decision after that, but at least give it a few days. Don't set it and then start panicking. And is really that simple. And again, this works so well because you're only spending ad dollars running ads to people that already seriously are interested in buying your product. So you should be getting a solid ROI on this. And the cool part is, as you keep posting organic videos, the more they start to get more views and the more interested people click on your products, those people will automatically be added to this audience and automatically be retargeted with your ads. So now you're creating more of a business machine, so to speak, and not just hoping and praying that you'll get sales with every single video you post. But this is only one way that you can use TikTok ads to grow your business and make more sales. It is the lowest hanging fruit, so I figured I'd make this video first.